I've been seeing videos in the main media talking about how um, Gavin Newsom and Pelosi um, have allowed the homeless crisis to be created here in California. Now, the main media says there's 100,000 homeless all over California. I put up a video, I think last week, saying there's millions of homeless people here in California. Trump told Newsom and Pelosi that if they don't do something about this homeless crisis, that he would step in and do something. So I was reading an article yesterday where Newsom said that he was setting aside $1.4 billion for the homeless crisis and $1.4 billion towards something else toward the homeless. So it's going to come out to almost $3 billion that Newsom says he's going to use for the homeless crisis. Billions now. Almost $3 billion. Now what the article says is they're going to use abandoned hospitals, lots by the highways, and some other abandoned places. But we got the Carousel Mall right here down the street that they promised to turn into a homeless shelter years ago. And it's never been done. Now money was set aside, grant money was set aside, and one of their friends was appointed to take that property to fix it up for the homeless. Yet, it's still yet to be done. Now, they've been killing people in that Carousel Mall, those homeless. I've seen the flashes of light. I wouldn't dare go in an abandoned building around here. That's why I stayed in open. Because they catch them homeless in them abandoned stores, they Carousel Mall, and they kill them. But here goes Governor Newsom again. Now, before I get to his proposal, we have no supportive service here. They have services for mentally ill. They have services for drug users. But they get paid. They get grant money for these programs, and they still abuse them. These programs don't help them whatsoever. They have no shelters here. You have to get on the waiting list to go into a shelter. Now, Governor Newsom, the article yesterday said that he was going to find places and open up temporary. The operative word is temporary. I'm going to use a lot of operative words today. The operative word is temporary. So, temporary shelters, almost $3 billion, and you can't build permanent housing for the homeless? Really? Temporary shelters. I looked at one. The bed capacity is supposed to be 2,300 beds. That is not shelter. That is not trying to serve people, the homeless. That is control, like a FEMA camp. 2,300 beds in a homeless shelter? That is a FEMA camp. Now, he says he's putting over 55% out of $3 billion toward social services. Social service, mental health, drug abuse. Yes, they'll do that because, again, that's government money when they throw you in these programs. 55% for social services. Social service does nothing. What the purpose of going to social service when you still gotta leave social service, whether it's mental or drug, and still lay on the street? Still sleep on the street. With no water, no bathrooms, and know where to charge their devices. So, since getting back to Carousel Mall, since that was supposed to have been done over a year ago, how long would it take Newsom and Pelosi to scout these sites, build these temporary shelters for some emergency that's going on now? Like I said, the Carousel Mall is still vacant. So, how long would it take? So they're still not going to do anything. If this is emergency crisis here in California, you know what they could do to alleviate some of the problem? It's put porta potties up on the streets. It's put water fountains, some places where they can get water. It's to put places where they can charge their devices for day-to-day living. So it's a tactic to take money, to take almost $3 billion. Emergency says right away. Something needs to be done right away. But to take years to scout locations, to build shelter. That doesn't seem like solving an emergency crisis to me. That sounds like you're still putting the money in your pocket. Trump might have to step in. Because these things are not going to cure the homeless crisis that they caused. Porta potties, access to water, somewhere to charge your phone, will relieve a lot of that problem right away. $3 billion could build a lot of permanent housing, not temporary shelters. $3 billion could build permanent homes. I'm not saying they have to have a house, but a facility that gives them a room where they can cook, where they can bathe. It doesn't take much to build something where they can have a room. Not these rooms where they're going to charge them $700 to share like they want to do here. $700, you have to share a room, you can't cook, you have to be in at a curfew. That's not living. That's not living at all. If you want to cure this homeless crisis, $3 billion could build a lot of facilities where they can live like normal people. Ain't got to be in at 10 o'clock, which is unnatural for a grown-up. But you can't drink, which is unnatural for a grown-up. But you can't cook, which is unnatural for a grown-up. You understand what I'm saying? Temporary shelters. FEMA camps. All right, guys. These things are on their board again. And you know what? All the politicians here in California, in that article say, oh, we praising Governor Newsom. We praising for his constant lookout for the homeless. Really? He's been looking out for the homeless, but now there's a crisis. Really? All right, guys. Love you. Keep praying.